Have you ever felt like you were completely on your own? Like the people who were supposed to have your back were the first ones to turn away when things got tough? That was my reality. It's a story I haven't shared with many people, but I feel it's time. A story about hitting rock bottom, being cast out by my own family, and finding my way back, not just to success, but to a new understanding of what family truly means. It all started a few years ago. I was young, ambitious, and frankly, a little naive. I'd poured every penny I had, and some I didn't, into a business venture I believed in with all my heart. I pictured telling my family I'd made it, making them proud. But the market is a cruel teacher, and my dream collapsed. I lost everything. I wasn't just broke. I was in debt, with collectors calling and eviction notices piling up. It was the lowest point of my life. I was scared, ashamed, and felt like a complete failure. Naturally, the first people I turned to were my family. I went to them, not necessarily for a handout, but for support, for a place to stay, for just a word of encouragement to keep going. I remember the conversation like it was yesterday. The air in the room was thick with disappointment. Instead of compassion, I was met with judgment. "We told you this was a bad idea," they said. "You've been irresponsible." They saw my failure not as a setback, but as a character flaw. The conversation ended with them telling me I had made my bed and now I had to lie in it. They couldn't, or wouldn't, help. They said I was a drain on the family's reputation and resources. In so many words, I was disowned. That night, I slept in my car. It felt like the world had swallowed me whole. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of my own quiet sobs. The pain of my business failing was nothing compared to the agony of being rejected by my own blood. It was a cold, hard lesson. Sometimes, the love you think is unconditional actually comes with a lot of conditions. And for me, the condition was success. It was in that moment, at my absolute lowest, that a switch flipped. The despair started to curdle into a different kind of energy, determination. I told myself, fine, if I'm on my own, then I'll do it on my own. The next few months were a blur of sheer survival. I worked 2, sometimes 3, menial jobs. I delivered pizzas until 2 a.m., stocked shelves at dawn, and did freelance gigs online for pennies in between. I lived on instant noodles and gas station coffee. Every dollar I saved was a tiny brick in the new foundation I was building. I wasn't just working for money. I was working to prove something, not to them anymore, but to myself. I had to prove that I wasn't the failure they thought I was. During this time, something amazing happened. I found a new family. Not one of blood, but of choice. My new family was the co-worker who shared his lunch with me when I had nothing, the elderly lady at the library who let me use the computers for free after hours to build my new business, planned the online community of fellow entrepreneurs who offered advice and encouragement without ever asking for anything in return. These were the people who saw me, not my situation. They offered the support I had craved, freely and without judgment. They taught me that family isn't about shared DNA, it's about shared humanity and mutual respect. Slowly, painstakingly, I started to climb back up. I used my hard-learned lessons from my first failure to build something new, something smarter and more resilient. It was a small-scale digital marketing agency built from my laptop in late-night coffee shops. This time, I was cautious. I grew it step by step, client by client. The first time I made enough to rent a small room, I cried. Not because of the money, but because it was a tangible symbol of my independence. I had done it, on my own. Fast forward a couple of years. My little agency wasn't so little anymore. I had a small team, a proper office, and a roster of great clients. I was financially stable, successful by most people's standards, and more importantly, I was happy. I was proud of the man I had become, not because of the money, but because of the resilience I had discovered within myself. I had faced the abyss and walked out the other side, stronger. Then, one day, my phone rang. It was an unfamiliar number, but I answered. The voice on the other end was hesitant. "Son, it's your father." I was silent for a moment, the word son hitting me like a physical blow. It was a title they had stripped me of, and now, here it was, being offered back so casually. They'd heard about my success through the grapevine. Suddenly, they wanted to reconnect. They wanted to have me over for dinner, to celebrate my achievements. They were proud of me, they said. I went. Not out of obligation, but out of curiosity. The dinner was surreal. It was like the past few years had never happened. They were full of praise, calling me their brilliant, entrepreneurial son. They asked for business advice, hinted at investments, and basked in my reflected success. But as I sat there, looking at their faces, I didn't feel anger or bitterness. I just felt a quiet sadness. They weren't proud of me, they were proud of my bank account. They hadn't missed their son. They'd missed the status and security he could provide. I was polite, I answered their questions, and I ate the meal. But when I left that night, I knew nothing had really changed. I thanked them for dinner, but the word dad or mom never left my lips. The man who left their house that night was not the same broken boy who had been cast out years ago. I had my own family now, the one I had built. I had my respect, and I had learned the most valuable lesson of all. Your worth is not determined by your wallet or the approval of others. It's forged in the fires of your struggles and defined by your own integrity and kindness. Today, they call me son again, and I let them, but in my heart, I know the truth. They may have given me my name, but it was my struggles that gave me my identity. And it was my chosen family that showed me the true meaning of love and support. My story isn't about getting revenge. It's about reclamation, reclaiming my life, my dignity, and my power to define what family means to me. Thank you so much for listening to my story. It wasn't easy to share, but if it resonates with even one person out there who feels alone or counted out, then it's worth it. Remember your value, and never let anyone else's definition of success define you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and consider subscribing for more stories and thoughts on navigating life's challenges. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.